You know, people often refer to me as Honest Abe, which I don't really mind, but I don't think they realize how hard it actually is to be honest. Let's face it, it's not easy being honest. Like when my wife, Mary, tries on a new dress and asks me,
"Do I look fat in this?"
So I give her my honest opinion. I said, "No fatter than you looked in the other dress you were wearing." Now, I'm not saying that she's really fat. No, really fat would better describe her mother. Her mama's so fat that when she broke her leg, gravy poured out. Oh yeah, now that lady's fat. Hey, I'm just being honest here. Of course, with her being that fat, it must be difficult to wash thoroughly between the rolls when she takes a bath. You know she's got to have some serious B.O. I swear that woman smells like pure ass on a hot summer's day. Actually, I should give her the benefit of the doubt. She smells like 80% ass, 10% armpit, and 10% feet. And her breath? Whoo! Now, I'm not saying that it's bad enough to knock a buzzard off of a wagon load of crap. I'm saying buzzards will flock to that wagon load of crap just to escape her halitosis and get a breath of fresh air. I even gave her a cute little nickname. I call her Hallie, short for halitosis. That makes my wife a little angry, though. But I tell her that it could be worse. In fact, I was really thinking of calling her fecal breath. Yeah, my mother-in-law is so fat that they wanted her to be the fat lady at the circus. But it didn't work out because they had to sell off the elephants to be able to afford to feed her. To tell you the truth, it was actually a toss-up as to whether she'd be better suited to be the fat lady or the bearded lady. She's got a little bit of hair on the old chinny chin chin, if you know what I'm saying. Actually, I think she shaves, but she gets 5 o'clock shadow before noon. And that's just her back. And do you want to talk about mean and rotten? I swear my mother-in-law had it in for me since day one. Always saying I'd never amount to anything and that I wasn't good enough for her precious daughter. Yeah, I admit we didn't have much money at first, and times were a little rough. I had to walk 10 miles through 3 feet of snow to get to the post office to mail a letter. Of course, my mother-in-law would always say,
"How come you never write?"
Duh! Why don't you try walking 10 miles? Here's an idea. How about burning in an occasional calorie with some physical activity? She's so out of shape that she gets winded from breaking wind. Of course, the rest of us have a little trouble breathing when she does that, too. You know, if she cut me some slack more often than she cuts a fart, maybe things wouldn't be so bad. And another thing. Excuse me if I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. As a matter of fact, I would have settled for a wooden spoon. In fact, I had to use 2 twigs like chopsticks to eat a meal. But that's what things are like out there in the wilderness. Life in the wilderness is rough, man. Like when you don't have toilet paper and you got to go out to the woods to get leaves to wipe on. Here's a little tip. Don't use the dry dead leaves to wipe your butt on. They just crumble in your hand, and the crumbs just stick to the crap that's on your butt. And always make sure that you're not using poison ivy. Believe me, there is nothing that looks less dignified for a man in politics than for him to be seen scratching his butt. And nobody wants to shake hands with you either. Let me tell you about married life, how rough that can be when you're honest. Like when the wife asks you if you want to go out to see a show or something. Well, with me being honest, I say, no, I don't think so. Like, I really want to sit through an evening of watching a bunch of fairies prancing around on a stage, singing a bunch of show tunes. I need that like I need a hole in my head. The worst was the night we went to Ford's Theater. First of all, the play was downright horrible. I don't know what was worse, the acting or the terrible writing that was passed off as a script. Of course, the previously mentioned prancing fairies just added to the overall nausea brought about by the experience. The whole night was awful. The night at Ford's Theater just simply wasn't worth the headache. Hey, I'm just being honest. Unfortunately, it's not always easy being honest.